Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, fear. People are starting to feel it. People starting getting nervous. The whole world is on edge. Never seen anything like this in your life. I don't care how old you are. Never seen the world's concentration as it is right now. Everything's focused on the Middle East. Oh, there's some interest in Ukraine, but everybody's focused on the Middle East. It's intense, getting more intense every day. Now, those of you who have been paying attention know how it's going to happen. It's going to happen. What will happen? Will happen soon. But they don't know. We're nervous. And they're talking about what could happen if that war takes place. And it's remarkable that a lot of the analysis that they're giving is consistent with what the angel's saying. Right? That Iran will retaliate with a great force. Whirlwind, take out American bases, destroy false Israel, breaking the economies of the world because they depend on oil in the Middle East, they will have control of. They're actually saying these things now, whether they doing it just based on common sense or logic, or maybe they listen to this, who knows. But this is what I've been saying. See? And so it's coming into focus where everybody can start seeing it and says, Trump is nervous, he's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because maybe, whether you realize or not, they do pay attention to what I'm saying here. See? I'm surprised they haven't come directly against me. They've come against me. I'm surprised they haven't come directly, the FBI knocking my door down and arresting me and stuff, right? But they come, they've tried. They come at me all kinds of ways. See? They haven't been successful yet. But fear. And our people are still locked into fear. Fear is affecting everyone. Our people have been in fear for over 40 years. And some are still frozen in that fear, still locked in that fear. That's why they afraid of these devils. To tell their children, man, don't give them a hard time. Listen, please do this. Why? With submission, yeah. Why? This is totally against us. You tell the children to go against their own self, go against their nature, because you're afraid of them, fear for them. But what you tell them to do is worse than the fear that you tell them to avoid. Because then you wonder why they're on drugs and they act crazy and all that kind of stuff, because they're going against their nature. You tell them you got to go against your nature, and you don't realize what you're doing. You tell them you got to go against your nature to survive here. Well, how is that survival? So the prescription is worse than the disease. Okay? Well, if you don't talk back, don't be yourself. That's basically what you're saying. Don't be yourself. Or you end up in jail. They ain't been up dead. But personally, I'd rather be dead than react other than myself. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But our people are still locked in fear, which is going to come in a palpitating form in a minute. Because Master Muhammad make his move. Everything happened was sudden. To be shocked out of their shock. Be shocked out of their shock. Because they didn't stay in shock now. They're going to be shocked out of it. Because they're going to find out that saying good morning, fist bumping, it's not going to work with these devils anymore because they're coming at you. And you're going to have to, fight or die, they say, ride or die, fight or die, you're going to have to. Everything's going to lie in a minute. You'll see. Fear. Like I said, our people still remain locked into fear. That's why you had to go through walk through the wilderness for 40 years? Because some people are so locked in, now they kept saying, "You need to go back to Egypt, man. You're gonna get killed out here." They rather go back in the abject oppression, slavery, affliction. Right? They feel so great. Man, we need to go back there instead of out here, man. We get rather than be themselves. And we got a lot of people like that. See? So they're used to thinking the devil's thinking for them and everything else. You tell them to think for themselves, and they're not interested in doing that. I have no idea how to do it. We have not been taught by devils to take care of ourselves, to be independent of them. That's why I have welfare and Section 8, whatever they call that stuff, right? To keep us dependent. That's why Elijah was a threat. We can be independent. And see what happened to that. That's these Levites again. He told them, he guided them 40-some years. He showed them by example. Old man with third grade education, by himself, no army, anything. And he was kicking ass, doing for self, wasn't asking the devil for anything. And as soon as he did leave, they couldn't run fast enough to stick their head back up devil's ass, master's ass. Master. Wallace said it himself. We don't need this stuff. Wallace said it himself. I remember they got it. And Farrakhan was his right hand man. And that's what he's saying right now. We ain't going nowhere. We got to be like them. We got to think analytically like them. And they good people, just few of them are bad. Because he's one of them. This whole message is still pin on the devil. He said, we're going to get 6 states. Who's going to take care of 6 states? Are you preparing people to handle that? Handle the military, the economics, the social, the education. You ain't, because first of all, you ain't about getting those 6 days. You want to stay with Matt, because you are master. He got them on YouTube talking about what y'all did to our ancestors. Who you fool with your dumb ass? Farrakhan, you are the ones doing it to our ancestors. It was your ancestors did to ours. Tell me, we the seed of Abraham. You ain't the seed of Abraham. You're a goddamn devil in black skin. And you don't have to argue with me about it. Just Google it. Percival Clark's his father, a devil. Now, I don't care what science you come up with. The man carries a seed, so we know what your father is. No orange seed is going to produce an apple. That's simple. See? But if you're stupid, ignorant, it's complicated. See? Anyway, and so Suleiman come here to give you a ladder so you get the hell out of here. But you got to climb the ladder yourself. Now you want him to pull you up on the ladder. Pull me up on the ladder, no hell, and they'll pull your ass up. If you don't climb up, you're going to stay here and get burned up with it. Oof. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to have to keep this short because, as I mentioned yesterday, right? See, he's accused of our brothers. Like I said, they're cast down. Because see, on the left here, I may take this out, but I left it so I speak to it. This is the direction we go. That's that natural direction. Upright. See? But look here, why are you going this way? Farrakhan, man, look at you, wicked, evil. Look, you're going sideways. You should be going upright. You're going sideways. You wicked. See? And that's what he's saying. He's the accuser. Elijah Muhammad never did that, and nor did Master Muhammad said it was righteous people. But you're wicked. He's the accuser. You're evil. Because that's what his people say. See? But what they don't see is this. See? Because we was this, and now we this, so how do we go from this to this? See? Because of this vector. Because it has a force that forcing us in this direction. So it's not us, it's the force you got to deal with. Not this, this. You have to do anything to this. Is this the problem? I try to teach people work the vectors, learn vectors. They don't want to learn vectors. They want to read comic books and play and scratch their ass. This is basic stuff. Like I said, if you want to hide knowledge from a black person, put it in a book. It's true. I remember, when I was, my children were small, right? They think they don't have nothing to do with me. That's another problem altogether, right? But I tell them try to make slots. That's stupid for them. To that stupid stuff, man. Why you waste time doing that? See, it don't make sense to them. So they all are totally unsuccessful, every one of them, right? So they want to go stupid, then go stupid. I'm not going to sleep. We're going to sleep over it. And so they want to do it in their room. Everybody had their own room. I provided for my children, right? Everybody had their own room and everything. So I said, okay. No, I'm not going to say just untrustful or whatever, right? So what I did was I put a $100 bill in both their Qurans. Had two of my children at the time, right? The $100 bill stayed there a whole week. And I went in there, I get it, I said, you get $100, what $100 bill? See, they wouldn't cite the goddamn thing. See, because they did every got a $100 bill. So I said, okay, so now, like I said, I give you information, you don't take it, I don't care who you are. If you're my parents, I'm going to respect you, but if that's what you want to path you want to go, that's the path you go. You have to still, I'm not going to stand away as a consequence of that. I'm not going to get between you and consequence. I'm not going to do it. Not get between you and consequence. I give information, show you. I said, I'm not ever disrespect to my parents, but I get information. I'm not standing between you and consequence. Okay? So this is what you blame. He's gonna blame us for going here. See, but he don't want to blame him because his people is doing this. So they don't want to take the blame for what they did to us. That's why he's taking the same position. It ain't their fault. It's our fault. We want brothers and sisters. Okay? And here's the fear. Over and over again, brothers and sisters, men's hearts feeling for fear for those looking at those things. Need to understand, and you can understand exactly what they're talking about. He's talking about America and what's happening in the Middle East, which is about to happen, right? And they starting to feel little showers of fear right now because they're starting to worry. But when the war actually takes place, something will happen over there. That's going to cause something to happen that causes them to have fear because it's going to trigger something that's going to happen here. Something's happening here, going to trigger something that's going to happen here, where it's going to put some extreme fear in them that they're going to actually have seizures and heart attacks and strokes. I explained what it is. So, and we're going to talk about it because this is chapter 18. Like I said, I've got a new way format here for the INJIL and for Daniel, and so I don't know if I can do it on a daily basis, right? Because I have other issues. But today I'm gonna do chapter 18. I did chapter 12 the other day. If I get any requests, which I right, any particular one, I can do that one next. But I'm trying to pick the one that's most pertinent, I think, to what's going on right now. Here's the doctor. Right? Dr. Happy, I'm going to remove fear from you. I'm making, I said, I used to wonder, my wife too, I used to tell us this. I used to watch the Sunday shows, Face of the Nation, that kind of stuff. I don't watch it anymore. Right? But for years I used to watch it. I used to be amazed how they could talk to about two black people and black people didn't know what they were saying. I said, don't you understand what he's saying? He said, gonna make America great again. The question is, when was America great? When your ass was in the fields, when they was raping you and beating you. That's when America was great. He want to put you back there. They said the scripture actually says what they're planning to do. They plan to get back control of you again. They lose control. They plan to get rid of you. The whole idea is to keep control of you. You're the problem. He can't come out and say it, but that's what he's saying. Make America. When was America great? And inside of that, he's saying, we got to get control again. Get control of what? That means when you lose control, that's what brings fear. So that means America's state of fear because, so we're in that state of fear. How come you don't see it? Because they're hiding it from you, so they do it in the background. He's telling you America's state of fear because they're trying to get that control back. That's what causes fear when you lose control. But you can't understand that because you're too busy watching Jay-Z and Beyonce washing her ass, right? And all that bullshit. And you can't pay attention to what they're saying here. He's saying it, and all the devils recognize what he's saying, but you don't recognize what he's saying. You don't recognize what he's saying. You got to get back control of you again. You're the problem. See? I'm like China. How did China get a job? They sent a job to China because they didn't want you to have them. So then they got to pull. China's getting too strong, so they got to pull them back now. They don't want me to get too strong. They didn't mean for me to get that strong. They didn't want you to have those jobs. China steal the jobs. They gave it to them to keep you from having them. Same thing with AI. They bring the Indians over here because they didn't want you to. And I can prove all of it. Everything I'm saying, I can prove all of it. Because I went through the program myself. They bring them over because they didn't want you to get AI. And now India's getting stronger and everything else, and now they're going to pull them back with tariffs and everybody. They didn't want to cause the problem, and it's backfiring on them. And the whole idea is about you. When you break all this stuff down, the reason why everything's so confusing because the cornerstone of the whole problem is you. You're the focus of the whole problem. The focus of the problem. Middle East got false rulers there to keep you from understanding who you are. They send jobs to China to keep you from getting them. They send Indians over here to keep you from getting those jobs. All this, when you put you in the equation, everything makes sense then. Why can't people cross the border? Could they get rid of you? Who else? The devils ain't gonna do those jobs. They're not gonna work at Popeyes. They're gonna work at Burger King. They ain't gonna do that kind of crap. They still want the people to do that. You the one that got doing it. So once they get rid of you, they gotta have somebody make transition. All right, bring them across the border. Plus bring AI in, so they gotta bring somebody to bring the transition because they don't want the devils ain't gonna do it. That's why they bring. When you put you in it right there, everything starts falling into place. Makes sense. You know. I meant to play this thing. This guy Fareed Ghazari, whatever, right? You're talking about GPS. I really need to play that. I was going to do it there, but I got so many things to do. I couldn't get to it. But he's talking about how the Industrial Revolution, and everything else, and how America was farmers and all that kind of stuff and all that. And he goes, and there was one black person in there. We was the one on the goddamn farm. We was on the plantation. And so, well, Jefferson and Washington, that they were farmers. No, goddamn, they were slavers. They were enslaving us and raping our women. There were no goddamn farmers. But see, they said, and I'm looking at it, I said, wait a minute. They was all farmers and black folks. All the white folks, they was taking care of the farm. There was farmers back there and there. No. They was raping us and beating us and enslaving us back there. They weren't doing no farming. They was beating our ass, make us do the farm, but that's where they play it. Because that's the whole idea is you don't understand this. They want to go to the computer age, but they can't go to the computer age with this history that they got because they ask the computer, is America wicked? Yeah, hell yeah, it's wicked. So they got to change the history, but they can't change history as long as you're here. Well, in some case, they can't, because some of you actually believe in that stuff. They actually, people, you got Negro bus writing books saying that we benefit from slavery. It was a good thing. Okay? Move on, brothers and sisters. He promised them he's gonna restore America. Restore America back to what? Well, it was great. Was it great? When your ass was in the field being raped and beat and slaughtered and fed shit. But he can't say it that way, but he said it. They understand what he's saying. They understand exactly what he's saying. But everything's backfiring because their time is over. That's not what I'm going to talk about. See? Well, everything he's doing is backfire. Everything. See, that's what China's a backfire. They didn't been trying to get that strong. They were trying to keep jobs from us. Indians are coming to backfire. Now India's I told you, India and China's be together. Now India's closing up to China now. Right? I told America and Russia's going to be out years ago. And now Russia, you know. This knowledge, you're talking about this light doors on Sunday. Oh, this light, but how come Farrakhan is not a light? He's not a light. See? He ain't no light. This light been out 30-some years. And you refuse to open your eyes to see it. That's coming to a halt in a minute, my brothers and sisters. Chapter 18. I'm going to go into some detail, but I'm sure I'm not going to get to it today, brothers and sisters, like I went into. Priceless beauty, kiss the sun, chapter 18. Now we talk about priceless beauty, right? But first I want to talk about this one thing here. See here? Don't fuck with Suleiman. Kiss the sun, that he not be angry and you perish on the way, for his wrath may be kindled quickly angry. How blessed are those who take refuge in him, who get in the Lamb's Book of Life, get inside the INJIL. See what it's telling you here. I've been telling people for years, you don't know me. You think you do. You don't know me at all. See, I didn't ask for this job. I didn't want it. I don't want it now. I said I felt like I got tricked into it. I had to be tricked into it because if somebody came and said, hey, here, like Master Muhammad went to Elijah Muhammad and said, no, I would refuse. Not because I don't care, it's just that ain't me. I'm a hermit. I don't want to be bound with people. I don't want to be doing it. I'm more myself. That's just my nature, right? And when Elijah was here, they tried to get me to minister. I refused. I don't want to be the big dog. I don't want to be telling people what to do. I want people to tell me what to do. I mean, I find it very offensive to have to tell somebody to do. When I was in the military, the same thing. I was sergeant. I didn't try to make sergeant. I told them when they sent me to Vietnam, you better give me a stripes because I wouldn't go to Vietnam. Have some control of my situation because that's a life and death situation. I'm going to have some control over it. If I'm not a sergeant, I got to do whatever some fool tell me, right? And he don't know what the hell he's doing. I know he don't know what he's doing, but I got to do it anyway. So I said, no, you give me some control. And so when I got there, but then I had to tell people what to do. I didn't want to tell people. They used to get on me all the time. Man, you got to. I said, man, well, I got to tell people what to do, man. They grown people. I don't like to tell people what to do. I don't like people to tell me what to do. You know, even in the military, even when I was an employee, or even a contractor, anytime I had at work, anything, even when I worked for the mess, I was a foreman in the Muhammad Speak newspaper. I didn't do it because I wanted to be a foreman, I did it because they need somebody to do it. And when I had whatever task I had to do, I always took care of it. I made sure it was absolutely right and 100%. Because I didn't want supervisor or sergeant, anybody come say, man, what you done is okay? Is it you messed up, man? You're late. Hey, man, you're supposed to have it ready by afternoon, man. It's by morning, it's afternoon. No, I don't want to hear that. So every time they came to me, my stuff was always, they looked at it, was perfect, and they never had to come back and say anything to me. And some of them got offended by that because they wanted to be there tell me something. They tried to find something, they never could find anything. See? That same thing was on the nation. I sold my 300 papers, nobody had, no lieutenant come and say, bro, how come you sell your papers this week? No. Yeah, sell 300 papers a week, I sold 300 papers a week. I always took care of my business, right? Because I don't like anybody to tell me what to do, and I don't like telling anybody, I don't tell my wife what to do. I mean, I don't think we should be doing it anyway. But everybody does, I don't do it. And so she look at me sometimes, I have my demon wife, she thought that I didn't care about it because I wouldn't tell her what to do. I mean, that's some weird shit, boy. You know? You do it. That's what you want to do it. Just as long as you respect this in the house. I just don't like telling people what to do. I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. And so they come like I said, I always took him out, everything was always on. Right, done. I make sure of that. So nobody come back and say, hey man, you made a mistake or whatever. Never. Because I don't like people telling me what to do. And some people, that when they tell you, get nasty about it. And oh, then I'm going to kick ass then. Because you don't talk to me in your kind of way. I don't care who you are. I never tolerate that. At any point in my life, you don't tell me what to do. You don't talk funny, right? You know, my father, I was afraid of that man. I feared him, but he never talked to me like, you know, out of the way. He would talk down to me. He whooped my ass, but he never talked down to me like I was some kind of fool or jerk or dummy or something. I just don't tolerate that. So, like I said, I don't know what to tell anybody what to do. I don't anybody tell me what to do. And you want to get me angry right away, right? Yeah. Come on, because I demand respect. So I demand respect because I make sure I'm respectful and I take care of my business. And I'm respectful of everybody, even devils. See, you're supposed to show respect. I mean, just because he's a devil, you still show respect. And you show respect to a lion, don't you? If you don't, you're going to eat your ass. You see a lion, you get the hell out of the way. You respect a snake too. You say, well, hey, that's a snake. Right? Like, okay, I was in this morning, right? I'm in the gym, and I got finished. I do a sauna, right? It was early, so I'm back in the sauna, laying back, quiet. Nobody's in there, so I'm playing. I'm YouTube, right? Was one of the things on YouTube the guy was talking about, what's happening in Iran, all that kind of stuff, right? So this Negro, but young dude, I guess he's about in his early 20s, come by me and said, I turn it off because, respect with me, in there, you're supposed to be, your son's supposed to be, that's part of the experience, so quiet and everything. But people don't respect that. So he pops up in there, stomach, boom, boom, like, I said, what the hell? Boom, like an elephant. I said, what the hell's wrong with this dude? He's jumping on his steps and seats and stuff, rocking this thing. So I ain't say nothing. So 2 minutes later, he's still. So I said, hey man, what's your problem? He come out, hey man, oh man, what's you? He came out like that. You see. So I said a few words, but now I said, let me get the hell out of here. My blood pressure was going up. I was about 5 seconds out of his ass. Because I've had problems with the gym many times before. They see me, he got gray hair, and they figure, and but I promised this purse training, because I got in a couple of times. He said, no, just call us. So I said, okay. Right, so see, now, that fool, I'm remember him gonna fit me. He gonna forget about me. I'm not forgetting about him. Because if you know anything about the Son of Man, whoever you think the Son of Man is, he don't take no bullshit. He's very vengeful. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Very vengeful. Why? I took time to analyze the situation. Because first of all, in this situation, he's a hermit, stay away from people. So therefore, there's no problem. Because he was, like I said, me, I respect everybody. I don't cause any problem. Anybody, you don't even know I'm around. Even where we live, we have neighbors, they never even know we're here. Then neighbor, blah, blah, music, everything. I said, what the hell is your problem? This is America. I mean, I was in a song a couple years ago, Hispanic guy. They come in there, man, it's quiet. I said, hey, man, what? This is America. I said, I said, oh, boy. Okay. F me. See, all this shit gonna come to a screeching halt. Right? But, I respect everybody. I don't do anything that causes anybody any problems. Everybody cause me the problems. If you're around other people, you should be respectful of their situation, especially in America where everybody's all living together and everything else. And so I take very great offense. That's why it says, Said, Son of Man will send his angels out to grab anybody that offends him and throw him in the fire. I take very offense when you offend me. Because I'm trying, I don't do it to you. I never do it. Everybody knows I'm very polite, right? Except that those, well, I respect them, but they coming to me and try to come with that bullshit Christianity stuff. Yeah, okay, I hit them, but they came to me with it. See? But I don't tolerate any disrespect. And so, you take a situation like this, is I'm put in a situation where I'm totally out of my element. I'm totally out of my element here. Totally. I gotta do stuff that's impossible for me. Gotta deal with people. That's impossible for me. I be patient with people, and for years, 30 or some years. Even when I was in Mason, I would stay in the background until the time I was forming for the Muhammad Street newspaper, because they messed up. Nobody was able to do it, and so they need somebody. I said, hey man, I'm here. Unless you need this paper's out, I'm your man. So I did it. As soon as they got somebody qualified and everything else, I said, okay, I got to pass it on. I didn't keep it the whole time. At some point, when they got somebody to handle it and everything else, I said, okay, I don't want to be foreman anymore. One thing I did want, I wanted to be a lieutenant. I thought being a lieutenant was cool. I wanted to be a lieutenant. They told me if I stayed a foreman, I couldn't be a lieutenant because that's almost the same thing. I still could, But I didn't want to be a lieutenant to tell people what to do. It was just, lieutenants was cool. I wanted, I was 20 years old, right? So, 21. Anyway. Not to run people, I just want to be, I'm in the military, man, I wanted to be, anyway. So the thing is that, like I said, I feel like I got tricked into this. There's a lot of stuff and then I got and says, well, where is this lamb to get this? And I got none of that stuff. It was an angel language, but it tricked me. Because like I said, I was just trying to solve a puzzle. I ain't about no seals or anything like that. I was just trying to figure out a problem. I was not kind of, what the hell is this? So I felt they tricked me into it. That's what I feel. I'm offended by it, to tell you the truth. Because I don't want to do it. I don't like doing it. I ain't trying to be the big man of these clowns. That's why these clowns are going to pay their price. They hear their bullshit. They know they ain't lying. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. But they're in the way of what I'm trying to do. And I'm doing something I don't want to do, but I'm giving 100% to it. That tells you something right there. See, you claim, I'm 100%. You ain't giving a goddamn thing. I'm telling you, I don't want to do it, and I'm giving 100%. Right now, I'm kind of like I'm almost on E. I told you I had that vision when I was a child, and I didn't really understand that well, but now I'm starting to see it because I'm just barely making it. You don't see it, right? Because 76 years old, I didn't think I'd ever make. When I was in the 20s, I didn't want to get past 35. I said 35, man. Now I didn't want to be old enough. 35. I never want to be old age. I look at old age. I said, well, so what old age was like? I didn't want that. Wasn't me. Why want to be like that? Wheelchair, walk around with a cane, bent over. What I want that for? I ain't want any of that. There was no parts of that. And I said, well, I adjusted to maybe 50, right? And it was INJIL when I was 40 years old when in my 40s when I got to the INJIL. But I never saw myself get past 50. I didn't want to go any, And now 76, man, I hate it. 76-year-old body, try it out, see how you like it. And I had to work hard to keep it. It's a lot of work to keep it healthy and useful. I'm the oldest one in my family now. I'm not talking about old family. I don't know any of my relatives, anybody older than me. All my aunts and uncles, they're all gone. I'm the oldest one of all my cousins. I'm the healthiest one of all my cousins. All the old crowd, they're all gone. I'm the oldest one in the family now. The most successful one, the healthiest one. But it takes a lot of work to do that. 4 or 5 hours at the gym every day. Fasting all the time. And so, and then still have to do all this. They have to do this. Right? Something I don't want to do. But it needs to be done. So I'm going to give 100%. See? I don't do anything half-ass. So I'm giving 100% on something I don't even want to do. Because it needs to be done. I don't appreciate how I keep saying I don't appreciate it, how I got to it, because I said I got tricked into it. I ain't know anything about no INJIL. I ain't called it INJIL now, just Revelations. I ain't know, I thought INJIL was some other book somewhere that Sony's had. I mean, it's Revelation, so let me look into this thing. I like puzzles. And here I am. And so all the sacrifice and everything I've made to get this information out, then I got to put with bullshit from people. People out there resisting and everything else. They said they're in trouble. And then it says, the wrath of the Lamb. Wrath means you're angry. It don't mean you're happy. It means you're not on crack. Yeah, you come to crack or I crack somebody's head. And that's what happened. And there will be no forgiveness. That's you're up against. Because it says he's going to wipe this thing clean, and then he's going to get back, Elijah's mama said, he's going back into darkness. Triple darkness. He clothed himself in triple darkness. Before he does that, right, he's going to clean us up, and anything that offended him will be crushed. Totally, utterly. Because he take great offense to it. Because he's out here making a sacrifice. Remember, mostly to the Levites. He's making this sacrifice, and for him, it's a very hard sacrifice because it's totally against his nature. You know, something totally against for years and years and years and years and years. And this light been out there for years, and you see anybody on top of it? Nobody's broke one verse, and then one sister, she got into a verse, and they heard anything else more. And that's remarkable. I was surprised. I mean, I was like, wow. Almost, almost like, whoa. Right? I saw that. It shocked me. I was so elated. I said, wow, because nobody's ever come close. I said, you did that? So that just showed me sisters can do it. Right? So that's what it says. It says, kiss the Son that he not be angry and you perish on the way. For his wrath may be kindled quickly. Because he's not here for no bullshit. Right? And if you think this is easy, a guy says, hey man, that guy, oh look, he goes to the gym, right? You see this guy at the gym, the guy lifts 50. Oh man, that's easy, man. Okay, but then you lift 10 pounds. You can't lift 10 pounds. How you gonna tell me it's easy? You can't lift 10 pounds. Because it's easy. How come you can't lift anything? How come you can't lift 1 pound? But it's nothing, right? See, there's other niggas out there, and that's what they are, right? Oh, the reason they dismiss it because they can't do it. They ain't nothing over there, man. He just making up stuff because they know they can't do it. But they tried, they couldn't, so they dismiss it because they don't want you to know that they can't lift it. So they say, oh, it ain't nothing. Because if it is something, how come you can't lift it? And if it's easy, how come you can't lift it? I've had to lift this whole thing, almost the entire Bible, plus Daniel, and you ain't even lift one goddamn verse yet. Not one. Not one. So I lifted 1,000 pounds, and you ain't lift 1 pound yet, and then you want to tell me I'm going to drop that 1,000 pound on your ass. You still understand what's about to happen here, brothers and sisters. And I ain't forgetting a goddamn thing. Now the devils, now the demons, now these lying hypocrites, turncoats. I ain't forgetting a goddamn thing. Nothing. And that's one of his attributes, right? Patience. Like I used to tell people, I says, what's the point? I mean, at some point, you eradicate your enemy, get them all together. Just get rid of them. But until that point comes, and you deal in this, we deal in this environment, right? What's the point of killing your enemy? I never got the point of that. And when you can eradicate them all, it's fine. But if you're just out there, ghetto, whatever, right? What's the point of that? I don't get it. Because you put them in the ground, it's like paying for advertisement, and then you don't do, then you don't. You pay for an advertisement, then you don't post it. Right? What's the point of that? You spend all this money on advertisement, you don't post the damn thing. Because if I got somebody that I want to get revenge for, I don't want to kill them. I'm going to break their back. Put their eyes out or something. So they can walk around them the advertisement. What happened to you? No. See? That's advertisement. Everybody say, hey man, don't mess with that dude, because otherwise I put him in the ground, nobody knows. That's what I think. So, said, son of man, be patient. That's not, he's not. See, we was told to be patient for 40 years. That's the basic nature of our people. Be patient, just take it until you got full control of the situation. Then you come down with your vengeance. They can't get away then. That's part of the nation, but it's really strong in Suleiman. That's the nature of our people. Just be patient, go ahead and take it. Wait till your time comes when they can't escape. And then you can put your full grasp in their ass and make sure they, because you don't want to come after they get away. Okay? So yeah, make an advertisement. Okay? And there's going to be a lot of people just before the tribulation, when he takes over the NOI, there'll be a lot of examples made to get people prepped for the tribulation. Oh, there's going to be some severe oh boy, if you only knew. You only knew. You're going to see in a minute. Okay? Now, I don't want these sisters get nervous because I have a whole different idea towards these sisters. Whole different. Well, there's a few of them that they're going to, let me put it this way. I was married to a demon, I was married to a jinn. Right? And a jinn, she had me bunch of lies, had me thrown in jail. She was trying to get me totally destroyed. I mean, she went, lied and everything else. Right? I was beating her up and all that stuff and never touched the woman. But that was her plan. Destroy me. I guess her mind, they're all white and they're most of which she was real light. Right, so that was her plan, to set me up. It didn't work. I defeated the whole thing, but I had to go to the war. You think I'll forget that? No, I ain't forgetting that. I ain't forgetting that. We wouldn't meet up on there again. On my terms. But for our sisters, now, demon, she was saying things to the rest of them, but our sisters are here. There's not a couple of things. They speak for their parents. That's a big problem for me. Because all my children, same thing. They're going to have to pay the price for it. If you read Job, it says when the four winds blow, wipe them all out. But they not disrespect their parents, that's a big issue. They disrespect their parents, they got a problem. Right? I don't hit but too much, not unless they hunt with the devil. Those about the only two things I can think of that, other than that, right? It's not too much a sister can do that. I don't care. She's a prostitute. I don't give a damn about what was the man? Was the man taking care of business? She got children. Was he taking care of business? Was he providing for everything? Oh no, I don't hear shit. You can mess around and get it. Okay? Our sisters do. Some of them desperate. They do what they need to take care of your ass. I don't want to hear it. That's why I said your skin may be black as black as what they say, black as night, but it should be white as snow, something like that there. Because I'm not going to see that. See, because 9% of what our sisters going through, because the vectors of the devil and the vectors of you. You part of the vectors of that, because you ain't taking care of business. You supposed to be providing for them. Now you done gave them 2, 3 babies. They did that. Some nigga did to my sister. 3 babies. He wasn't worth shit. Never worked anywhere. They ended up finding him about a few years back. There's some homeboys that tore his ass up and killed him, threw him in the garbage can. That's what they found him in a garbage dumpster. Good for his ass. That's what he did to my sister. I'm not holding that against her. I feel bad for my sister because she had no mother. My mother passed when I was 9 years old. She was 8, so she never really knew that. But my father 5 years old. So she had the experience with him. So she was trying to be, she know how man acts. That's what she went through all life. That's what she had in her relationships. She was trying to be. She not be a female, and it would cause problems. Right? She wouldn't listen to me, so I don't care. If she hold on, she's gonna be okay. I hope we getting there. I hope she hold on a little longer, because right now she's in a nursing home. She's all messed up, and she don't want to be around me tomorrow. So I tried to get her. I said, "Come on, no, I ain't," because she's scared to be around me. Because she know I'm not gonna tolerate that bullshit. You got to stop doing. You got to stop walking. Do something to get yourself together. You can't just lay around. So no, I don't want these sisters be angry, upset, and anxious. But there's one problem with that, like I said. If they were a dog, a fool, a Negro, but they just don't give a damn, and they got children in mind, those children, man, I move on, brothers and sisters. That's a problem I just recently became fully aware of, and it's a problem. Right? Now we will remove all demons. All demons will be removed. Okay, this is one thing that some Negro butt, and they over there, someone comes and says, she's right here. The Lord says, talking about the angel here, right? Let me see if I can expand this. Yeah. Lord says, my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. And this is their take on it. See, this is, if you understand right, this is the right side, this is the left side. So this is the hand, this is the ears, this is the feet. And see, he's sitting at the right hand of Master Muhammad, so he's the one. He said the right hand. Oh, they thought they had me, boy. In fact, when the first one, I had caught me off guard for a second, right? Because I said, well, that is right hand, right? Let me read this thing again, right? Because I had a result a long time ago, but it wasn't fresh in my mind. So, am I on the wrong side of Farragon? And then you got to read the whole thing. He said, I said at my right hand. He didn't say you are my right hand. He said you said at my right hand. Right? So that means right here's the right hand, but it tells you who, and make footstool for your feet. See? This is not the feet of Farrakhan's, the feet of Master Muhammad at your feet. So he's talking about this one here. Set my right hand. Not you, I'm a right hand, said the right hand, because you're a foot, these are feet. So we're talking about this one, Nation of Islam. Boy, he thought he had me. See? You got to read the whole thing together. It said, footstool for your feet. You'll be under this. These are feet. That's not a foot. And this is not a foot of Farrakhan. It's a foot of Master Muhammad. If you put it in that context, he's a hand of Master Muhammad. These are ears, if you understand the angel key. So, anyway, I thought I just that fool, boy, I tell you. Okay, again, you know, sisters, you ain't got to advertise. You have to advertise, because you it. You are it. This is the fake. They advertise. Pants on a cracker. See, I got an ass. I got this. If you're a millionaire, you got to walk around the sign, 7 millionaire. Everybody knows, man, the way you walk, the way you act, everything else, they know you. But this one, you go, I'm a millionaire. I'm smart. Well, if you're smart, you got to be telling everybody you're smart. They can see how your actions are smart. How you take care of business. I'm smart. I'm beautiful. Well, why you got to tell people you're beautiful? They should be able to see it, right? You see? So you got to advertise. Get your attention. She don't have to advertise. Hell, she could have a full dress on, coat and everything else. that form is still going to show through. She's beautiful. All our women are beautiful. All the original women are beautiful. Every one of them. This is the fake wannabe. You see? Got to where your lipsticks come from. She don't need any lipstick. She got lips. Lipsticks. The purpose of lipsticks was to not to bring out your lips, but to give you lips. That's the purpose of it. Go and check this history of lipstick. Rouge was to give you color. Now they got tanning places. They have muscles to give you an ass. All of a sudden they got asses. Where that come from? I spent it the other day. You know what I'm saying? They got to put this stuff in the hair to give it life. Otherwise, the hair just hangs down like a dog's hair. It has no life in it. Just got life in it. All kinds of life in it. But now she's trying to be like her. Who's trying to be like her? See how the guys all messed up? She's trying to be like this. Who's actually trying to be like this? So now she put on lipstick, right? Botox and all this stuff. Patent bras. Right, she have to do anything. You have to do that, sisters. And if something that's precious, you'll be showing it to everybody or on display. You secure it, right? They want to see it, they got to pay for it. Man, once you got to step and take care of business, take care of you, provide for you, take care of your children. You want this, you got to pay for it. Work for it. Respect it. Or you can go someplace else and get the fake over here. So they have our women doing all kinds of despicable things on the movie and everything because they try to make them look down, degrade them because they're so jealous of them. So they build themselves up, put our women down, have them doing all kinds of despicable things in the movies and everything else. Those are demons primarily that's doing that. So they use demons to make that's what use that blackface stuff. Use demons to make us humiliate us and everything else. Because demons are willing to do it because they them. This blackface. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's get to 18. Oh boy. Let me check something here. I tell you, bosses, I am beat. I'm barely hanging on. 76 of your body, boy. Out of work. And the problem, what's the problem? Problem is, hold on, brothers and sisters. A minute here. Um, and then this is only the first part of my mission. Get information out. Second part of the mission is war. And there's only one person on the planet right now, Master Muhammad is on the planet. And one place on the planet right now that stand up against the devil. There's only one soldier on the planet right now still fighting. One planet, one person. Because you ain't doing it. Because I told you it's a mind war. I try to give you ammunition and give you the weapons, and you can't you don't use them, or you can't use them. I don't know how to use them, whatever. Anyway, you're not doing anything with them. So there's only one person that's standing for the nation. There's only one person on the planet right now. One person on the planet right now standing for original nation. Just one person. Just one. So he ain't got time for your bullshit. One person. And that person got to he got to make war with the beast. Who can make war with the beast? He got to fight against the ten horns. Or if you know who INJIL, you know who that is. He got to fight against Ishmael. He got to fight against the demons. He got to do all of that. You know, Farrakhan ain't doing it because he's dead already. Well, he ain't dead, but he's pretty right. He might as effectively, virtually. So that's still in the future. And nobody else is standing. Who can make war with the beast? Who's like the beast? Said this message, who would be able to stand? He said he was coming by himself. Messenger coming seeking him. And so if you think it's easy, how come you don't step up and do it? There's no help. He said he looked around, there's no one to help. Yeah, he's got to bring this whole thing into by himself. Bring his whole nation together by his then and give it to the Master Muhammad. That's what it says, Ancient of Days. That means the whole resistance of all the nations, he's fighting the resistance of all the nations, resisting all the nations. That's what you got to deal with. You can't deal with putting food on the table. You got to go to Master. Hey, Master, give me welfare Section 8 so I can put some food on the table. Well, you ain't putting shit on the table. Master putting it on the table. You can't take care of that. And then you're gonna show disrespect and everything else. And this person right here, he's got, and then you want to do it, and he's got to take on the whole world. That's what it says in INJIL. He take all by himself. If you read the whole thing, it's a Master Muhammad says he's like your Air Force, right? He's in the clouds. He defend you from there. But you on the ground, you got to take care of business. Then plus you got to raise the nation too. Damn. I had no idea what I was getting into. I'm still upset about it. And there's no one else can do it. Or he will do it. He trying to do it. And it's sad. Because all this here, right? You got a war, atomic bomb war. Everybody's going, right? And this guy here, he can't even handle a slingshot. But then he going to war, can't even do it. Handle a damn fucking slingshot. Yeah, I'm using those words because it's getting rough. And what's about to happen in a minute, you're going to be much worse than that. Because on the doorstep, if you anything, they said they was planning on going to war in May. Actually planned on, then Trump got nervous and no, hold on. They already had the plan set up. Attack Iran and you think this is a joke? You're going to see in a minute. It said the wrath upon those folks, not just wrath on the devils, wrath on demons, and it's going to be an even worse wrath on these clowns like Ishmael and those people. They don't get it worse than the devil's got it. For obvious reasons. Because they give somebody in the name of Allah. And then lie their ass off. Everything they say is a goddamn lie. In the name of Allah. What's the consequence of that? Without me even touching them. Ben X, son of man, what you think would happen to them? Right? Said be weeping national teeth, but it says he's worse than that. It's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of son of man. Terrible thing. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Say, like I said, I'm hanging in there. Unless I get a new body pretty soon. I don't know if this is going to make it through all the other stuff. Right? I tell you, you're 76 years old. Ain't no fun. Right? I mean, I'm keeping it together. I'm good. I'm good health. Everything else. But, woof. Right? It takes a lot of energy to do that. And I feel like right now I'm exhausted. I am. But I can't give up. So like he was slain from the foundation of the earth. Come on, brothers and sisters. Okay, chapter 18. I'll probably do more detail tomorrow. I'm gonna think I can get too far into this today, but we'll see. I got a special little technique I did today. See if it works out. Right? Babylon's collapsed. Babylon's coming to America. But you read chapter 18, it's talking about, right? Well, we go into it. Let's see what it says here. Okay. So it's talking about the fall of Babylon, right? The plagues that she will have in one day, in 1 year, right? And it talks about, what the revenge that be taken upon her, that she's done to us. All the things, is hell. If you read it carefully, right, she got all these plagues, in 1 year all these plagues coming, plus she got the revenge, double revenge if she did to, and what is that? 40 years? And she gonna get double what that's hell right there. And then the other plagues, and all the things that happened to her, it's devastating. That total economic collapse. I'm going to talk about that today, but maybe I'll go into more. I did a very detailed analysis a while back, maybe a couple of years ago. Right? So maybe anyway, we'll see. Anyway. And this is my little technique I did right here, right? So I'm going to try to show you basically, right? So here's like the Middle East. And these are like the bases. Let me see if I can make this larger. Let me check my sound here. Got to check that because I'd be upset if so somehow, okay. American bases, that's some of them, right? Middle East. Here's Iran. It's false Israel right up here. Where it has bases. Magog, UK has bases too, but I'm just showing it basic, right? Took a long time to put this together, believe me. Figure it out, put it together. So it says they will push against the king of the south, push against the king of the north, right? So here it is now. So is that going to mean they're going to start firing on them or whatever? It says pushing them. It doesn't say they would attack them. It says pushing them. I'm just leave it in that sense. I think it actually means something else. I think they're pushing at them, but now I think Iran's going to do preemptive. But I'm not. I'm just leaving it at on the basic level, right? Because that'd be that'd be something. Anyway, so this is where everybody's imagining it, right? I mean, it wasn't imagining. They attacked Iran, right? We're talking about. And Iran counterattacks. This is where the conventional wisdom is happening. I think the way it's actually saying is that when Iran realizes what they're going to do, they're going to preemptive attack. They're going to attack first. I'm not showing that. I'm showing the way people perceive how it's going to happen. That Iran actually attacks first, right? Okay, so they come out like a whirlwind. Boom. See? That's what the scripture says. They come back on a whirlwind. Set the region on fire, all the bases on fire. America go running out of there. Get the hell out of there. False Israel on fire. Right? Then Iran takes over the whole region. Okay? That's the conventional way where they say if they attack Iran first. But I think what happens, Iran's going to preemptive attack when they realize America's ready to make his move. Either way, it still comes out the same way at the end. Right? It's just that first part. It's the question. So here we go. Now, back. Okay? Now, I know you don't know what I did here, but what I just did right here is not easy to do. It's a special technique I figured out myself to make this happen like this. Anyway, so now Iran attacks that war, right? Now I'm going. I've been holding this for years. I said there will be a African country that's talking about the stone to kill Goliath, because false Israel is a lie, Goliath. So here's a slingshot. If a slingshot, that's those of you who've been paying attention, maybe you catch on this, because this the slingshot. That's a stone in the slingshot. They go up and the stone hits them, and the stone, because now I've been saying, but now it's coming clear. Egypt and Iran is very tight. And Egypt's turned against false Israel. So there it is. That's what I've been saying for years. Can't deny it. Boom. Hit him in the head. False Israel in the head. Surprise attack. They weren't expecting that. They might be expecting it now. And then they're kicked out the region, right? Kicked out of the region. That's the attack us, right? So that's when they're pregnant. Well, those who are pregnant. So the wrath is upon them because they're pregnant with black folks underneath there, right? That's what it's talking about. So it says she fell, Babylon the Great. See? Fell. And false Israel taken down. Then the four winds blow. So come out here, my people. Pharaoh said, "No, we stay here. We're gonna stay." No, come out. Not have religion or names. Come out. And demons are cast out. Right? Okay, they hear the woes. This is an economic collapse. Now, I gave a very detailed explanation this years ago. I'm going to just touch on it. But it says the great city. Oh, just be blanket here. Okay. Okay, let me just stop this. I forgot to stop that blinking. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Okay, that one's okay. Well, maybe it was okay all the time. 87. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Well, I still, anyway, I leave it there. So the city of the great represents Europe here. See, and tells you all the things that happen. Although it's total economic collapse here, right? Well, let me do it this way. Okay. City of the great, okay, because it's talking about different ways. But see, you think it's talking about the same thing. No, they're not. They're talking about, okay, what was the city of the great, right? Now, Babylon is talking about America. Let's back up here. Make sure we understand that. Before we go any further. Okay. See, Babylon, see it. Okay. We'll get back to that. Okay, where is it? Okay, she fell Babylon the Great. It's America, God. Keep this in mind. Babylon the Great, that represents this. Babylon the Great, keep that in mind. Okay, next. We'll talk about all of these. So tell me what happened to Babylon. Okay, she gets all those plagues and everything. It's talking about America, right? Dwelling place of demons that carrying on. Well, okay, hold on. So, but Babylon the city, we'll get to that in a minute. That's this one. So Babylon the Great is America, right? Which is under here, under serpent here. Babylon the city the great, right? And Babylon the city the strong. Babylon the city the strong is Russia. Now Russia doesn't go through economic collapse, but this one does. It tells you things are going to happen. It's just telling you because nobody's buying stuff. In other words, total economic collapse. That's what it's saying here. City great against Europe. City great again, talking about Europe. So they don't get the worst of it because they keep talking about this one, right? Get the worst of the economic collapse, right? Because America gets the economic collapse, vengeance, and everything else. These get economic collapse too, but it gets the vengeance, retaliation, double. It's done to you. They're the ones causing all the problems. They're the ones says the queen, contaminating everybody, right? But Europe has total economic collapse, right? Russia doesn't. Now, maybe I'll explain in a minute, but anyway. So, let's go on. It said, throne Babylon, the great city, right? Now, Babylon, the great city, that's Magog, Britain, because it said they'd be thrown into the sea. See? And thrown into the sea. So they just get destroyed, they get thrown into the sea. Okay? So, on through. See, it doesn't talk about this. It talks about. It doesn't talk about. See here, let's back here. See, in these situations here, it talks about, well, these things too. But if you go back here, primarily, it's talking about economic situation. City, okay, economics. So this one suffered total economic collapse, right? America suffered economic collapse, but all other things that go with it, right? But this suffers total economic collapse, okay? Russia does not, because they're not affected by the oil. They have plenty of oil themselves, so not affected by Iran taking control of it, right? But this, that's why I said economics. Total economic collapse here, right? Not economic collapse here, right? Okay, America gets economic collapse. In addition, let's go back and see it. Just all other things. Okay, see. The Bible says, great Bible says strong, because when I came judging you. Now, Russia is affected by collapse, but not affected by it because if all other countries are their economic partner, but they're not suffering total economic collapse. That's why you have 2 years together. But that's another story. It's back here. So see, America gets all these different things. You get famine. It says come morning. Okay, it says come a plague, death, mourning, famine, and fire. Famine, right? That's part of economic collapse. You see, but the main person to get the economic collapse. See, America gets all these things. Okay, understand that. So, but you go here. See, they total economic collapse. Total economic collapse for Europe. America gets invaded. Some economic collapse, famine, plagues, all of it. But Europe gets total economic collapse. Russians get affected because they do commerce with these other countries and they don't have any they can't trade with them, so that causes economic issues for Russia too, right? So they have a collapse, but not like Europe. You total economic collapse. Russia's affected by it, right? It doesn't say Magog has an economic collapse. It just they just thrown in the sea. They totally wiped out. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So I think we can leave it there. See? So Europe gets total economic collapse. America has economic collapse. In addition to all the other things. Revenge from his captives, famine, right? Death, he's invaded by the 10 horns. All those things happen to America, but Europe, total economic collapse. Russia is affected by it. You understand? That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying here. Right? So when America falls, when they fall, that's when that war takes place. America's defeated. That's the result of it. Okay, I think I'll leave it there, brothers and sisters. I think I explained it well enough. Yeah. See, so I mean, she gets invaded too, but I'm saying, right? That's not. Well, I'll leave that alone because see, because it says here it's not talking so much about economic collapse. It's talking about right a war. So it's really talking about Armageddon here. That's what it's talking about here. I cut to the chase. Armageddon. She suffered economic collapse, but Armageddon, right? Because that's what Armageddon here, America, and it'd be Europe and Russia fighting America. So it's Armageddon plus total economic collapse. I told you. Remember I said Europe would have total economic collapse, and so they would betray America and work with Russia because Russia would be able to fuel them, and that'd be Armageddon. And she'll turn against America, so America be fighting both Russia and Europe. Okay, and maybe I should show that right quick and then we'll close. Show it right quick and then I'll close. Okay, where we at here? Okay. Oh, where we at here? 90. Okay. do it this way. Now close. Oh, keep doing that. Okay, that should do. Okay, see here. Here. This is Armageddon. Europe and Russia fighting against America. That's what's happening here. So it's total economic collapse, right? Which brings in Armageddon. And now America is fighting both Russia and Europe. That's what's talking about here. That's chapter 18 for you, brothers and sisters. America falls. Right? Revenge is taken as the resurrection of the original people. Take double them, right? America falls, becomes totally in chaos, right? Plagues, famine, be invaded by death or Europe or the goat or, right? China, India, all those things. While Europe is just economic collapse, which they ally with Russia, and that's Armageddon fighting against America. Understand, brothers and sisters? That's what that is. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, Magog's thrown into the sea. They don't suffer economic collapse. It's destroyed. It's so fast. So that's how fast it's going to happen. Because as soon as that war goes, they're going to be taken out. As soon as America they kicked out and they go to Armageddon starts, they won't be part of Armageddon. They're going to be totally wiped out. Thrown into the sea. I'll leave there, brothers and sisters. Let me say this one more thing before I close, brothers and sisters. I meant to say Israel yesterday, and I keep forgetting. You know, this controversy about Jesus being dead and being raised back to life, you know, all you just ask yourself a couple questions. They said he was dead and he raised himself back to life. Now, if they say God raised him back to life, then you might say, okay, I mean, you're not being a nonsense anyway. But I mean, but if they say he raised himself back to life, then he wasn't dead. Because he was dead, he wouldn't even know he was dead. So he couldn't do anything. If you're dead, you don't know anything, you're not aware. So how could you raise back to life if you was dead? You have to be alive to know that you dead. That's bullshit right there. I tell you. And one final thing here. Women were not protected during the Holocaust, but they will be protected during tribulation, or somebody's going to pay heavily. They will be protected during, if you ain't, if you go to and you ain't, and these women not protected, better give it a life form. These sisters better be protected during tribulation. That's part of the healing. To gain their respect. We have to gain their respect. And that's what they better do it in a time of war. You protect them with your life. Assalamu alaikum.